Good morning, everyone. I'm Kat Redner, and today I'll be taking you around town to show you some of Florida's best-kept secrets. On today's jam-packed episode, we'll be exploring the arts, culture, and history of Indian River County. So come join me as we uncover Indian River. This morning, we'll be visiting the Vero Beach Heritage Center and Citrus Museum. Many people know that Indian River citrus is famous worldwide, but what they might not know is the humble beginnings of the citrus industry and how this little town's fruit became the envy of the citrus world. And what makes Indian River the place for citrus?
Oh man, okay, so citrus all over the state of Florida does really well because our perfect amount of rain. Add to that the very high water table in the Indian River District. And what happens is it stresses the trees out. That stress makes the tree produce less fruit, but each piece of fruit is of higher quality and is scientifically proven to actually have a higher sugar content than any other citrus in the world. And so you can see with the juiciness of the perfect amount of rain and the sweetness of being stressed out, Indian River makes the perfect piece of citrus.
Up next on our tour through the county is one of Vero Beach's newest landmarks, Walking Tree Brewery. After moving into an antique aviation supply warehouse, Walking Tree Brewery opened in 2016 and since then has become the spot for locals and tourists alike.
So we walked into this building in early 2014 when we were looking for a place to put a brewery. We never imagined we'd have such a big space that has so much historical value and it's just so beautiful. And the day we walked in the door, my business partner and I looked at each other and go, okay, what is it we have to do to be here? It's nice to see people enjoying what you make. In the beginning, when we first opened, it felt unreal for a really long time. It took about 2 years to really sink in that people are coming from all over the world even to come try something that you made. And it's really gratifying. Do you want to go try some other beers?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So the next beer we have is called Hans Across America. It's actually named after a gentleman who's one of our regulars. His name's Hans. He's from Dusseldorf in Germany. This is where this beer originated. This is a Dusseldorf style alt beer. Very easy to drink and low, light body, but you still get all the malt flavors too. So it's kind of this combination of a light beer with a lot of malty flavors. And this is what I'm drinking these days because it's just delicious. Cheers.
Cheers. That is delicious.
Isn't it?
Oh my goodness, I can tell why that's your favorite one.
It's so light and crisp, but you still get that malty flavor, which is...
All right, well, thank you so much for having us come out and taste some of your amazing beers.
Awesome.
We've had a great
Well, thanks
time.
for coming. We appreciate it.
We're on our way to Marsh Landings. This is one of Ellesmere, Florida's most popular restaurants. It's also one of Indian River County's most storied buildings. Let's go check it out. Originally built in 1926, this building was home to the Florida Estates Corporation and Florida Crystal Sugar. It even once served as a municipal building for city council meetings and the police department before eventually being boarded up by the city in 1980.
When I was growing up, this building was boarded up. Nobody used it and it had fallen into disrepair. The city decided to auction it off about 20 years ago. And my mom came down to the auction. I remember that. I was in high school. And when she came home, we said, who bought it? What are they going to do with it? And she said, I didn't like what anybody was going to do with it, so I bought it. And we opened Marsh Landing in November of 2002. And it's just been a wonderful museum and restaurant for all those years.
All right, and let's talk about the food for a little bit. You've got some traditional food like the biscuits and gravy and fried green tomatoes, but you also have some unique food.
We do. One of our most unique items that we're well known for is our frog legs. We get our frog legs right out of the marsh, right outside of town. You can take an airboat ride out there. We have our local froggers that come in with the frogs. They catch them that night and we serve them the next day. So that's one thing that brings people in a lot. They're not the French frog legs, they're the Florida frog legs.
Local.
Local, exactly, about as local as you can get.
All right, well, I'm excited to try some of the food out. Let's go check out the kitchen. All right, so here I have the Marsh sampler. It has gator bites, fried frog legs, and fried green tomatoes. All right, let's try out these frog legs. It's juicy, it's got a lot of flavor. It's garlicky, tastes a little bit like chicken. I would definitely recommend fried frog legs to anyone who hasn't tried them before because you're gonna love them. Up next today is a hidden gem, fittingly referred to as the jewel of the Treasure Coast. Located in Orchid Island, Caribbean Court offers a boutique experience that is unique to Florida's resorts. At first, it's easy to miss. The lush flora hides it away from the main street, but works with the architecture to create an oasis for anyone who's lucky enough to book their vacation here. Combine that with their award-winning restaurant, Maison Martinique, and Havana Nights Piano Bar, and you'll never want to leave this resort. So the locals and the tourists love this place. What keeps them coming back for more?
I guess, I don't know if it's any one thing. I think they seem to be looking for something a little bit different. As wonderful as chain hotels are, they're looking for a non-chain experience, something that's somewhat boutique-y, and that's what we are. I think just that mixture and this area of Vero is just charming.
Today, I'm here with John Moses, the managing director here at Riverside Theatre. So John, can you tell me a little bit about the history of Riverside?
Sure. Riverside Theatre opened its doors for the first time in 1973. Very much as a community theater with an array of events and programming that was booked into the facility. In around 1985, though, Riverside Theatre took its first steps to becoming a producing professional theater, and since then has grown to be one of the largest in the state as well as in the country.
With almost 300 performances on 3 stages, Riverside Theatre attracts over 100,000 people every year. All of Riverside Theatre's events are produced in-house. From the sets and the lighting to the costumes and props, everything is done right here.
We have several different genres. We have the big Broadway shows that we produce. We have the Comedy Zone, which is kind of a year-round, kind of a dinner theater experience. Yeah. It's just a very low-key, great place to work. But that's what I like about it, and I think the staff complements that very well.
Well, thank you so much for having us here.
Yeah, thank you.
I have to head back inside. The show is about to start. I'll see you next time as we uncover more of Indian River.